Introduction. What do you get when you mix Marcus Aurelius, a stand-up comedian, and an action movie hero? No, this isn't the setup for a bad joke. It's the blueprint for Volodymyr Zelensky, a man who went from making people laugh to leading a country through war. If stoicism is about embracing hardship with courage and keeping a cool head in the face of chaos, then Zelensky is basically a stoic philosopher in a green t-shirt. The world handed him one of the hardest leadership tests in modern history. Yet, instead of crumbling under pressure or making excuses, he stood firm. He didn't run. He didn't beg. He led. And he did it with a mix of resilience, humor, and a level of determination that would make even Seneca nod in approval. Today, we're breaking down the stoic traits that define Zelensky's leadership, how he embraces responsibility, uses humor as a weapon, stays present, sacrifices comfort, adapts in crisis, and keeps moving forward. And, most importantly, how you can apply these lessons in your own life. So sit tight, hit that like button, and let's dive into the stoic mind of one of the most unlikely yet inspiring leaders of our time. 1. Embracing the role with courage. Modern example. Imagine signing up to play the president in a TV show and then, plot twist, actually becoming the president. That's exactly what happened to Zelensky. The man campaigned with no political experience, running on a platform of honesty and reform. It's like a substitute teacher winning Educator of the Year before their first lesson. But that was just the warm-up. In 2022, when Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Zelensky was thrust into a role far beyond what any political training could prepare him for. Instead of freezing under pressure or retreating to a safe location, he stepped up and became the voice of national resistance, addressing his people daily, rallying world leaders, and inspiring global support. Stoic lesson. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Zelensky understood this deeply. He didn't control the circumstances that led him to leadership, but he embraced them. The weight of an entire nation's survival rested on his shoulders, yet instead of succumbing to fear or self-doubt, he focused on what he could do: lead with strength, determination, and an unwavering commitment to his people. Action plan. In life, we often find ourselves in unexpected roles. Whether it's becoming a parent, a boss, or the guy who has to fix the Wi-Fi at a family gathering, Stoicism teaches us to embrace the responsibility instead of resenting it. Courage isn't about waiting for the right conditions. It's about stepping up when duty calls, even when you feel unprepared. 2. Humor as a weapon against fear. Modern example. "I need ammunition, not a ride." That's not just a viral quote, it's an entire philosophy. When offered evacuation at the start of the Russian invasion, Zelensky didn't just refuse, he did it with style. The man turned a war zone into a masterclass in public relations. Instead of resorting to fear-mongering or empty bravado, he used humor to embolden his people. He mocked Russian propaganda, made light of dire situations, and kept morale high by reminding Ukrainians that they were not just surviving, but fighting back with dignity and courage. During an interview, when asked about Russia labeling him as enemy number one, he responded with his characteristic wit, "What a privilege. I finally made it to the top of the list." Stoic lesson. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Humor is a shield against despair. Zelensky didn't ignore the horrors of war, but he used his wit to inspire. A joke at the right moment isn't just funny, it's defiance. By laughing in the face of adversity, he denied his enemies the power to break his spirit. Action plan. Next time you're in a tough spot, whether it's a bad day at work, an embarrassing moment, or your coffee spilling right before a big meeting, try laughing instead of sulking. Resilience isn't just about gritting your teeth. Sometimes, it's about smirking through the storm. Make humor your ally in difficult times. It transforms hardship into a battle you can win with grace. 3. Presence in the moment. Modern example. During the early days of the invasion, Zelensky wasn't broadcasting from a secure bunker. He was in the streets, filming videos on his phone, standing alongside his people. He didn't just tell Ukrainians to be strong, he showed them. When asked about his decision to stay, he said, "I am here. We are all here. Our soldiers are here. Our citizens are here. We are defending our independence." That simple yet powerful message resonated around the world, proving that true leadership isn't about issuing orders from a distance, it's about standing shoulder to shoulder with those you lead. Stoic lesson. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. Worrying about the future or dwelling on the past only drains your energy." Zelensky's ability to stay in the moment allowed him to make quick, effective decisions. Instead of fearing what might happen, he focused on what needed to be done right now. The present is where action happens, and clarity comes from engaging fully with the task at hand. Action plan. In your own life, be present. Whether it's showing up for a friend going through a tough time, being engaged in conversations rather than scrolling through your phone, or fully immersing yourself in challenges instead of avoiding them, presence is power. Your actions, not just your words, define your leadership. 4. Sacrificing comfort for duty. Modern example. When the invasion began, Zelensky could have fled to safety like many expected. Instead, he stayed. His refusal to leave Kyiv became a defining moment of his leadership. He slept in government offices, ate the same rations as soldiers, and wore the same fatigues day in and day out. He wasn't just leading. He was living the reality of his people. His message was clear. I am not above you. I am with you. His decision to forego personal comfort for duty turned him into a symbol of resilience and unity. Stoic lesson. Ha! Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. True leadership isn't about privileges, it's about sacrifice. Zelensky's willingness to endure hardship alongside his people reinforced his credibility and inspired a nation. Comfort is an illusion. Real strength is found in struggle. Action plan. Next time you face hardship, ask yourself, am I avoiding discomfort, or am I stepping up? Whether it's staying late at work, pushing yourself at the gym, or taking responsibility for a difficult situation, remember, growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you endure and persist. 5. Adapting to crisis with clarity. Modern example. War is chaos, and no plan survives first contact with the enemy. Zelensky had to adapt daily, shifting strategies based on new threats. He used social media masterfully to communicate directly with the world, bypassing bureaucratic delays. He secured aid, coordinated defenses, and made fast, clear decisions under immense pressure. Instead of being rigid, he embraced flexibility and innovation. When Russia expected quick 3-day surrender, he changed the narrative. Ukraine was not just resisting, it was winning battles. Stoic lesson. Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Stoicism isn't about rigid stubbornness, it's about being adaptable. Zelensky's ability to adjust to reality, rather than wish it were different, allowed him to lead effectively. Clarity comes from accepting the present moment and acting decisively within it. Action plan. In your life, unexpected challenges will come. Instead of panicking or wishing things were easier, ask, what's my next best move? Whether it's handling an emergency at work, navigating a tough conversation, or dealing with setbacks, clarity comes from accepting reality and adapting intelligently. 6. The relentless march forward. Modern example. Leadership is exhausting, but Zelensky never stopped moving forward. Every day, he delivered messages of hope, met with global leaders, and pushed for more aid. His persistence kept Ukraine's struggle in the world spotlight. Even when faced with seemingly impossible odds, he stayed focused on the long-term goal, Ukraine's survival and independence. His message was clear. There was no room for despair, only action. Stoic lesson. Seneca taught that perseverance is not about waiting for hardship to pass but about transforming obstacles into fuel for action. Zelensky didn't let setbacks define him. He used them as motivation to push forward. In life, challenges are inevitable, but your response to them determines your path. Action plan. No matter how big the challenge, keep moving. Break problems into smaller steps, focus on what you can control, and push forward, one action at a time. Whether it's a personal goal, a tough project, or a major life struggle, remember, progress isn't always dramatic, but persistence wins in the end. Conclusion. Volodymyr Zelensky isn't just a leader, he's living proof that stoicism isn't some ancient philosophy reserved for toga-wearing philosophers. It's a mindset that thrives in the real world, under the worst conditions, when everything is on the line. He embraced responsibility when it would have been easier to walk away. He used humor as a sword against fear. He showed up when it mattered most. He sacrificed comfort, adapted to crises, and, above all, kept moving forward. So, what can we take from this? The next time life throws something unexpected at you, whether it's a challenge at work, a personal setback, or even just running out of coffee when you need it most, ask yourself, what would Zelensky do? Then, square your shoulders, crack a joke, and push forward. Because resilience isn't about feeling invincible, it's about acting with courage, even when the odds are against you. And if you found this breakdown inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Who knows, maybe one day, you'll be the unlikely hero in your own story.